to Lockdown Lunch with me and my friend, who I'll introduce in a second. I just want to get this up on my phone, but if you decided to dye your hair at home during this lockdown, and you didn't listen to your stylist if you have one, this is what you're gonna end up looking like after about 3 weeks. So let me be a lesson to you all. Good thing I stocked up on hair dye. So today we have another fabulous, interesting, fantastic guest. I would like to introduce to you Samantha Montaño. Welcome, Samantha. How are you?
I'm really good, actually, today. I woke up.
Why are you really good?
My hair for you.
Why are you so good?
I think it actually helps if I put on real clothes, and I did that today. I have khakis on and everything.
These are my regular real clothes.
I know.
So Samantha lives and works in JP in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts for
JP, Jamaica Plain, the bottom half of South Mass, close to Dorchester, Roxbury, Rosendale, off the corridor. I live and work here. I've been in Boston 6 years. I'm originally from Los Angeles. Kelly left. I'm gonna host it. So this will be my 7th year in Boston. I grew up on the southeast side of LA, which if you're familiar with LA, is predominantly Latina, Latinx. And then after college, I had nothing lined up. So I moved here, and now I've been in Boston for 6-7 years. I lived in Roxbury, Somerville, Dorchester, and now JP. And I'm really happy to be in this neighborhood. So since Kelly's gone, I met Kelly at JPNDC. She got the desk on the other side of me. We had a small wall dividing us, and she would never talk to me, and I'm super chatty.
So annoying. I'm sure you said fabulous things.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's no rhyme or reason as to when this freezes or why. So Sam, thank you. So I was asking before I died on the internet, what day is it?
Thursday, the 16th, 2020 of April.
Crushing it. Do you know about the census challenge?
No, I found out the other day, yesterday, I think. Pam Bender told me about it. Do you know about it?
Today's census challenge day. Ooh! And there's going to be a Twitter storm happening. It's happening right now, and it's to encourage people to go and fill out the census today. So I'm a big fan of the census. I think Samantha is too. Yeah?
I do love the census. My good friend is running the census for the city of Boston, Sebastian Zapata.
Yeah. Hey, Sebastian. I miss him. So you are a community organizer with the Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation. And before we get too much into other things, I think it's important for you to explain what a community organizer is, because some people watching might not know.
Sure. So there's various forms. There's the people who are paid to do it, which is something that I'm lucky to be able to do. And there's people who are just organizing in their community because they love their community and want to make a difference. So my work is specifically tied to our housing development at Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation. So whenever you're building a certain number of units, you have to have a public community process. So, you know, if there's something getting built next to you in your neighborhood and you're like, that thing is hideous, or it's really encroaching on my lifestyle, or like, I want more affordable housing, like I want it to be bigger, whatever it is, we have to talk to you and involve you in the process, because that's, you know, equitable and democratic. It's inherently inequitable because homeowners get more of a say than renters, which is a problem when you're doing development. But that's one of the things. Working in the neighborhood, connecting with other nonprofits in JP. Kelly knows that I did some of like the partnership work, you know, mostly it's talking to people, getting them as involved as you can, like helping create like pipelines of folks to do the work. And in an ideal world, if you're paid, trying to remove yourself as soon as possible, so that people who actually like, I happen to live and work in this neighborhood, but for people who don't live in the neighborhoods they work in, trying to make sure that people who are directly impacted can like serve their neighborhood. So I don't know, it varies.
It's very sage advice. I work at a nonprofit, but I do not live in that neighborhood, so that's interesting to hear. Samantha, also part of her job is cooking hot dogs, which I'm a big fan of. But how many hot dogs do you think you've cooked?
Over 1,000.
Crazy.
And you guys, their hot dogs are wily. They slip through the cracks. They slip out of your hands. It's dangerous.
There's a lot of, obviously not right now, we can't do that, but there's a lot of, you know, community nights in different neighborhoods. But in Jamaica Plain, they have hot dog nights. And I don't know, just a lot of the events in the summer tend to have hot dogs. And somehow Samantha, Sam always ends up on the grill.
It's because no one wants to do it. I like being really, really hot, though, so.
I like eating hot dogs, so it's a win-win. So you typically work in the office and out in the field, Jamaica Plain. What has your transition to working at home been like?
Well, I'm not allowed to be close to people anymore. Just how I did a lot of my work before. So now it's lots of emails, phone calls. I take walks, and I walk by our senior housing, and there's like actually lots of windows, so I get to like wave to people from the window. Aww. Yeah, I don't know if they love it, but I love it. And it's just moved to digital, you know, and it's been a learning experience because calling a lot of folks who live in our subsidized, income restricted, affordable housing, they don't have computers and they don't have internet. So phone calls too, lots of phone calls, and connecting and doing lots of advocacy work because, you know, the state house is still trying to do stuff and they're kind of still moving at the same slow pace that they have moved before on certain things. I don't know if Kelly wants me to say that, but
you can say whatever you want on this. This is me as a private citizen, so.
Me too. Gio would love me to say that I'm not representing Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation.
That's totally fine, and I'm not representing my full-time day job either. This is just my lunch break hobby.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like it's super different now. And you know, before, if like you wanted something done, you could potentially like walk over to someone's desk or like show up at City Hall or the State House or whatever it is. And now it's just like, please answer me.
Right, I know. Do you have like a space that you set up in your home, or are you like just
look at
it from bed, or?
I'm in a studio, and this is the whole studio.
That's super cute.
My grand tour of my house.
That was the best tour ever.
So no.
You could just kind of work wherever.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
I know that with community organizing, you know, you're going to community meetings and you're, you know, talking to residents all the time, and you're doing outward facing events that bring the community together. And then sometimes there's like protest type things too. How did you do that now?
I don't know, Kelly, you tell me. It's
Please help me because I don't know.
we had like this peer organizing call yesterday, and everyone was like, how do we get people to come to things?
Right.
And I don't think it's like, I think now more than ever, it's people who like are really interested in are like passionate in certain things will show up because like there's nothing else to do. You can show up.
Right.
I think it's just making sure that like what you're programming and what you're doing is relevant to lots of people and they'll come, So yeah. I guess it's a good litmus test. So like if you're organizing something and no one wants to come, it's probably because it's not relevant. So
right.
Thinking about that, making sure that what you're hosting is relevant and people will show up because like where else are we going to go right now? Nowhere.
Yeah.
So
I'm slowly working on some things for work, but I'm nervous about it. And I'm teaching myself everything as I go along, which I love doing. I love doing that piece, the learning.
How long did it take you to learn all of this?
Right. It's super fun, but I've just been like completely transparent with everyone. Like I'm an event planner and I don't like this. I don't like the direction that I'm being forced to go in. Mm-hmm. I think digital events are soulless. And maybe it's, part of navigating this is how to make it not soulless, but it's never going to be the same as being in the room.
No.
With people. So I've just been flat out honest. Even like at work, we had a staff meeting yesterday, and I was just like, I will do this for you. This is my job, and I'm learning how to do it, but I'm going to let you know that I hate them. I hate digital events.
Yeah, I think the energy that you get from in-person events, you just can't but.
No, there's no, I'm a stress sucker. I love that stuff. I love running around. I love solving problems.
Yeah. Has anyone done an event with Kelly? Because those are.
I think multiple people on their feed right now have definitely done an event with me.
Those are intense. I get I don't know. For people who don't know, Kelly makes you your own clipboard with your name on it and everything, all your contact info, and literally everything that you have to do, plus everyone else's job for the day. So if you mess up, it's because you can't read her notes.
I love doing that stuff.
It's good. It's good stuff. But yeah, it's so I can't even imagine having planned events you plan events a year in advance. Everything is on hold. There's no way to know when you're gonna be able to ever host these events. October, November, it could or could not happen. That must be incredibly frustrating and hard. Kelly left again. It's just me. So events. I have hosted a few events, nowhere near as detailed as Kelly. We did this art pop-up last year, almost exactly a year ago, a little more than a year ago, in this vacant commercial space that JPNDC owns. And it was pretty good. I liked it. I got a good turnout. And it was supposed to bring awareness to the fact that, I don't know how many of you know this, but Jamaica Plain actually in the last couple of years lost populations of Kelly's back.
It sensed how angry I was, the energy that I was giving. The technology picked it up and was just she needs to have a pause. So what were you saying? God.
I was just telling everyone that Jamaica Plain lost Latino, Latinx folks and Black folks, and gained in population white folks and Asian folks. So and that was part of the impetus for the art pop-up event, is addressing that.
Oh, that event was amazing.
Yeah, I'm saying that's one of the last events I've planned, but it was.
Sam's really good at events too. She doesn't toot herself as an event planner, but she's good.
Yeah, if you want an event where you have no idea what's going on, you're kind of stressed out, maybe you have a role, maybe you don't have a role. Come hang out with me.
It's a completely different vibe than working with me, but much appreciated. So part of your lockdown experience is that you've been reading a bunch about creating a more equitable society. And I think before we go into what you've been reading or suggestions in that, it's important to explain to people what an equitable society is or looks like.
I guess that can like vary for every person, right? But
Facts.
we know that like generally most people know that a lot of the laws and de facto and de jure laws, so like things that are written and things that are just like assumed and taken for granted, benefit white folks and not people of color. And that, you know, that varies in itself too. Like there's class differences and whatnot, and like there's colorism within races, but we need to like remember that and think about how when we plan that there's people who are starting at way different starting points than everyone else, and take that into account for like the legislation we create. So like now during COVID, understanding that the reason that communities of color are being hit harder is because they've traditionally had less access to like the right foods to eat, to stay healthy, or like they have higher instances of lack of like medical access, so they don't get to treat things early and it gets worse and worse and worse, so they have these conditions built in. And maybe they don't have like a fresh fruit store by their house. So when we think about those things, like why that folks of color are already at a huge disadvantage when battling like COVID, and how do we create things that make up for that disadvantage? And so that's what I think creating an equitable society is like, we know that some folks are at a bigger disadvantage in certain respects, and how do we create things that bring those folks forward and also take into account that some people are already there, and have those conversations where it'll be like, look, I know you feel like you're not getting any help, but it's because you're already at the point we need to be at, right? So like, it's not like we're ignoring you. You're just like here already. So realize that you're fortunate that you, for whatever reason, have been benefited by like these systems and society. And because you've benefited from these things, you're already at the point we're just trying to get everyone to catch up to. So
I had to have a very semi-uncomfortable come to Jesus conversation with someone yesterday about how systematic oppression and racism is playing a huge part in why the COVID cases are spiking in communities of color. So I appreciate you speaking about that, because there's people out there who don't get that. And I appreciate you explaining that, and everyone else out there explaining that to people as well, even if they are in your family. So
it's really hard. You have to be able to like look at yourself and be like, not me first. Like the Bernie Sanders slogan, right? Like, not that I'm saying I support Bernie Sanders, but like not me, us, right? So it's like the opposite of what we've been told is like our Americanism, which is individualism, right? It's about communal success.
Mm-hmm.
Which is different.
What have you been reading?
So lots of news, because I'm a political junkie,
of course,
which isn't necessarily good for me. So that I found this like podcast called, well, I found it on like this renters gathering group that I'm on, and it's called People's History Podcast, and it talks about it's called The Point, which is what Columbia Point over where like UMass Boston was called before.
Okay.
It talks about like how particularly women of color were able to like organize and fight back against like housing policies, and there's tenant strikes and stuff. And then I'm also reading like this book called I think Her Body and Other Parts by this author, I forget, Carmen something Machado, and it's like a collection of short stories, and it's like queer and like horror and fantasy. It's kind of weird, but
that sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's really weird. So if you're looking for something different, I think it's Carmen Maria Machado.
Okay, I'll look up. I keep telling everyone, oh, I'm going to link everything. God, do you know how long it takes to go back and listen to yourself talk to people and write down the things that they said? It takes a lot.
No, yeah. Well, you did like all those interview transcriptions.
Yeah. So I'm slowly working on the YouTube channel, but whatever. I don't have to be perfect right now.
Not at all.
The housing piece. There's a lot going on right now with that. I don't know if you want to speak about it, but I think it's pretty cool that rents are not being, being risen or anything like that.
So I think today they're gonna vote. It's been going through the state house for a while. So I think today they finally settled on like a bill, the House and the Senate, which are two different bodies that have to agree. And typically everyone thinks the Senate is much more liberal than the House, but the House this time was the more liberal one, or like trying to put through a more progressive bill. And it will halt. I haven't read the new thing, but I think what they wanted was to halt all eviction proceedings. So like before, landlords used to be able to scare you and send you like an eviction notice, even though they couldn't move forward with the eviction, they would like try to scare people and be like, you need to get out.
Right.
But I think this new bill stopped that, which is good because scare tactics are scary, especially now.
When you're not supposed to be outside even, like, come on.
Yeah, so I think that's going through. And then obviously Marty Walsh has paused all construction, so no housing is being built right now too,
which I think that's a problem, but a necessary safety precaution. It
is, and it's, we need people to like I think it just came out like the Pine Street Inn had a bunch of like positive COVID cases and no one was showing symptoms in like the homeless population that was in the shelters, which is crazy. So just thinking about how important housing is, and housing is a right and it shouldn't be privatized, and we shouldn't have to pay like thousands of dollars to like live somewhere.
Right.
Everyone should be able to access it.
Or in a place that is like accessible.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. Like
Susan's asking, and I don't know the answer to this either, but is this temporary legislation that's being passed?
Yeah, it would be in effect. Sure. The state is in what is the state in? Emergency mode? Whatever it's in right now.
National emergency?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're in a ton of emergencies.
It's temporary. Well, because I don't think that they could get landlords to our home and like property owners to agree long term to anything like that.
Right. It's going to be it's just going to be weird. I don't know how it's all going to play out. And it's scary.
Oh, who knows what finding an apartment is going to look like in like a couple months? Like that's.
Yeah. I have friends that closed. I mean, they're not moving apartments, but they closed on houses during all of this.
Really?
And are moving during all of this, and they can't. I mean, let alone finding an apartment and all the other stuff, but just the moving process itself. Mm-hmm. They can't have anyone help them. They can't have movers. They have to have contactless everything. So that is just like, I don't know. It's different and interesting.
Yeah.
So we're all stuck at home. I mean, and then there's our essential employees who are not. Thank you for your service. But how can we actively participate right now from our homes in creating equity and a more equitable society? Or if there isn't any ways, that's okay too. But I think there might be.
Yeah, you can get involved and follow like a lot of the legislation that's going on. You can donate. So something that I've struggled with is where to donate money if you're able to donate money.
Right.
And I think there was this, I've been telling everyone, there was like this meme I saw or like this quote the other day, and it's like corporations right now are saying we're helping people by asking poor people to donate to other poor people. Yes. So like watching money get funneled through, like, why are we funneling our money through United Way? Not that I think United Way is a great organization, but like, why can't we more directly give our money to different organizations and to people instead of like having it go through these like places and assuming that these organizations are equitable themselves and like giving out the money in good ways. So I think there's like the mutual aids that are really good. There's like a lot of undocumented funds. So like, I think it's called, what is this called? Mass Undocu Fund, which is very transparent
I don't
about.
think I've heard this one yet.
Yeah, so it's for folks who are undocumented, and it's very transparent about like how the money is used and how they give the money. And I think a lot of folks know, I don't know if everyone knows, but like people are not getting the stimulus check unless you have a social security number.
Right.
So if you have like a taxpayer ID number, you're not getting the stimulus check. So like a lot of this money will go to folks like that who don't get to access the government bailouts that we're all getting. Or I assume that you and I are getting. I don't know if everyone else.
No, I got mine yesterday and I gave it away. I mean, I didn't give it away. I gave it to my mother-in-law to go towards the mortgage because I thought that was very important. But I just passed it on.
So same thing. If anyone else doesn't necessarily need all of their stimulus, you can give to places like that. I try to see like how directly you can give the money to create more, like, because to me that creates more equity instead of like having to funnel it through anyone else. And but yeah, so giving, I know that the First Baptist Church is still looking for volunteers to help do food for the meal distribution sites that they're doing. And I did that last Monday. I didn't get to do it this past Monday, but I think I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it again this coming Monday. I guess, and it's there's no way to do it from your home really. But it does help to like redistribute the wealth that some people do have, right? So like, redistribute as much wealth as you can, and then make sure that like, especially if you live in a district where your elected official maybe isn't the most focused on creating equity, lobby them so hard. Like tell them, you know, I can't organize against you right now in full force, but I'm gonna organize against you in like 2 years. Just wait.
Yes. Elections are power, and I'm sure they'll still happen in the future. I'm very nervous about the November election and how that's going to all go down, but I'm pretty sure local elections will figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm super worried too.
All right, let's pivot a little. And I think Pickle, I can't grab her, but she's meowing. If you can hear her, I think she recognizes your voice.
Pickle? Where's Rick?
We'll see if she comes over. So what do you miss, or what are some things you miss about the way it was in January?
Well, I'm from LA originally, so I don't know if I miss January per se, but hey, Pickle.
She hears you. Come here. Go ahead.
I miss being able to go out. I love restaurants. Pickle.
Pickle misses you, but she's being a brat, so I'm not dealing with that. So LA.
I miss restaurants. I miss bars. I miss being able to like interact and talk with people and like have meetings in person and do all of like this work in person. I miss that a lot. I miss, Kelly knows I'm like super social. Wicked social. Wicked social
kid. Way more social than I.
Yeah. And I miss the sun. I still see the sun, but I miss like, I'm slightly concerned that I'll have like a mask tan now.
I think those are going to be all the rage this summer.
Hey, Pix. She's
being so needy today.
I'm surprised she hasn't been a guest yet.
She has a lot to say. Rick, my other cat, he's basically an administrative assistant at my job now because he sits on my left for every Zoom meeting that we have.
I like Rick. He has like a fat little face.
I know. I don't know where he is right now. Pickle is like on it right now, though. She's like rubbing her face all over the tripod. Yeah, I miss all those things too. How's your family doing in LA?
My dad is a baker. He actually works for this company that makes the buns for In-N-Out Hamburger, if you're familiar with In-N-Out.
Oh, you never told me that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
He makes buns and things for like small mom and pop restaurants too. So he's working still. And then my grandparents are okay. My mom And my grandma and my stepdad Bart are on a farm like 40 minutes outside of like the Central Valley, Fresno area. And they're fine because they're on a farm.
Yeah.
My mom now has like 8 goats and like
I wanna
12
go.
chickens. And she's just like, she didn't leave the farm that much because my grandma's older. So she's like, life is the same. She doesn't notice any change because like she's been on the farm. But they're good. And my sister is in Scranton, like the office location.
Why?
Hi, Lauren. She moved out there to be with this boy, Rob, who she's engaged to now. Hi, Rob.
Is Rob from Scranton?
Rob, I don't remember. Are you from Scranton? I think he is from the area. So she's like out there working. She's actually working at a hospital, and she said that now they have like 2 floors of COVID patients because their like senior living facilities got hit really hard.
Oh man.
Yeah. So my sister is an essential worker too, but she says she does like telemetry, which is monitoring people's heart rates.
Very important.
Yeah. So she's not directly involved. She's not like actively a nurse or anything on the floors, but they're cross-training her to be a nursing assistant, I think, or something. So she could be potentially more involved soon. I don't know.
Wow. Scranton.
Yeah. Scranton.
I've been watching way too. The Office is just like on all the time now.
In your house or in general?
Well, like the channel that we decide, because it used to be we left the news on when we would like leave the TV on when we're like cleaning or something. Mm-hmm. Now it's been Comedy Central, so it's been pretty much just The Office and Futurama. So that's a great segue into what have you been watching?
What have I been
consuming for media?
If anyone has Hulu, Little Fires Everywhere is really good.
Okay, you're like the 4th person to say that, so I should probably get on that.
And I haven't started yet, but I really want to watch Mrs. America, which is about Phyllis Schlafly. Phyllis Schlafly. It was like this conservative, she's an activist, a woman who advocated against the Equal Rights Amendment and is part of the reason that it hasn't been ratified because you couldn't get 38 or 34 states to ratify it. So
Where's this?
That's on Hulu and FX too. Okay. And so like each episode focuses on a different like woman activist. So the first one is on Phyllis, the second one is on Gloria Steinem, and the third one is on Shirley Chisholm. And there's going to be more. I don't know how many more. So I really want to watch that. And then Insecure is back, everyone.
I know. I have to.
And then Vita, which is like what I watch when I'm desperately homesick, because it's about like gentrification, which is like brown people coming back and gentrifying the neighborhood.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've seen the ads for that, but I haven't.
It's free. The first 2 seasons are free on the Stars app. So if you want to watch it, catch up before season 3, which is the last season, on the 26th. Watch it.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
I'll tell you in a minute. So,
and RuPaul.
Right. I was gonna say, if you know Sam and I, you know that we are very extreme RuPaul's Drag Race fans. And right now is season 12. And I was waiting to do this on live broadcast. I have not watched a single episode.
At all? How?
I've been experiencing the weirdest whatever I'm doing right now. But I don't know if it's depression, anxiety, trauma. I don't know what's going on. But the weirdest symptom, I've never had it in my life. And it's happening right now. I cannot consume media. Like, I watch the news and stuff like that, but I cannot sit down and watch a show or a movie. Except when it's like forced family movie night. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I'm not doing it intentionally. It's such a weird. I feel like it's a symptom.
Except for like The Office.
But I'm not even watching that. It's just like on.
Oh.
I can't like. There's so many things I want to watch right now. So I felt like I had to come clean and let you know. But I have been keeping up with the drama of it all. So tell me about season 12.
Season 12.
Who's your favorite?
Who's my favorite? Okay. At the beginning, my favorite was this like queen from France, Nikki doll, but she's gone.
Okay. Oh, thanks.
Clearly, oh, sorry. Clearly, I am good at picking the winners. Now I like this queen, or I'm rooting for this queen, Gigi Good, and this other queen, Widow Vondu, who I think is really good too.
That's a good name.
Yeah, right? Picking drag name must be the most like stressful thing.
Oh, I've always wanted to do it, but I've had no reason to.
Pick a drag name?
Yeah. I'm not a drag queen. This is just who I am.
You're like Michelle Visage.
Oh, that is such a high compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. But so Drag Race is like RuPaul is, you know, like a great pioneer, but also like problematic. So you always have to watch it with a little grain of salt, which is sad. But I mean, I grew up on like in the LA, like learning and watching a lot of the LA queens, and like because it's LA, a lot of folks come through. So I've been obsessed with it since I was like 18.
Same.
Yeah.
I can't.
If you're, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know anyone who's like not, who would watch, who's like, I'm like, maybe you won't like this, but I don't know. It's hard.
I mean, when I watch it, Christopher says he's not paying attention. But he's watching. He knows.
I was gonna say, does Chris watch it?
If it's on and I'm watching it, like when I was keeping up with it weekly, he'd pretend like he wasn't. Same with This Is Us.
Oh, that I don't watch that.
He knows the whole storyline, and he knows when a look is freaking sickening. He's like,
yeah, everyone should watch RuPaul and then all of these queens are also doing like a lot of shows on different like media source, like different like social media sources and stuff too.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with that either, but I would love to watch a drag show.
Yeah. Also somewhere else to potentially donate your money because all these folks lost gigs.
Yes. Tipping.
And a lot of them are folks of color who this is like their only source of income. And they might have like different, I don't know, who knows where else they're going to get money
right
in the meantime. So
one of the last places that we went before, when we were in Key West, before it got locked down, was 801 Bourbon. We went to a drag show, and there was like 10 people there because it was like no one was out that night. It was basically like shutdown was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so great, and I'm so glad that Christopher had never been to one. So
really?
And they were like, loving him. Kisses all over his bald head and stuff. And I'm really like grateful that like, and I think about it frequently that like that was like one of my last outing experiences that I got to have. And now I really miss drag shows too. Every day I talk to someone, I miss something new.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing for your mental health?
I am still in therapy. I get phone therapy.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Next week we're gonna try video. So my therapy is at 8 a.m. I've kept the same time just for like consistency. And
That's
so
great.
yeah, I mean it's good for when I have to go to work, like actually go to work. But we're gonna try video therapy. So now I'm gonna have to like get dressed and comb my hair for this, which might be more stress than I want it to be. So we'll see how this goes. And then in December I started SSRIs, which are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which is perfect because now it's in my system and 4 months later, and I feel much more like stable.
That's great.
Like it's for like anxiety, depression kind of stuff. So yeah. I think with the therapy and the medicine, it's been like really good. And then lots of walking. biking, some runs, push-ups, squats, just like try to get all the energy out as
So
efficiently as I can. No, I'm not.
where do you bike to?
Everywhere. I try to not do less than 10 miles when I go out. So up the corridor, out to the Esplanade is like so packed.
Oh, really?
It's so packed, Esplanade.
Of like people chilling or people like
People exercising.
moving?
Yeah, moving. The Arboretum is really packed too.
That's like we can walk there. Like, I mean, I feel like most people kind of in the Roslindale, JP, West, we could all kind of walk there, and it's too crowded for us, so we haven't been going, which is really disappointing because I would love to go. Max is asking if you wear a mask while you ride your bike.
I do. I mean, It's not like an official mask. It's like this mask I got in Mexico when I went ATVing, but it covers my nose and face.
That's good.
Yeah. It is hard to breathe. So I definitely like, maybe I'm getting more exercise. Who knows?
Yeah. It's been really, I'm pro mask. I mean, I don't think you have a choice right now, but I'm pro mask.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I have to breathe differently in it as someone who doesn't normally wear a mask, like a nurse or a doctor normally would, or a dentist or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've just been having this really fun cycle of like changing my breathing and being like, it's okay to be breathing like this. Don't have a panic attack. And like,
Yeah.
It's like circular. It's like, what do I do? Out the mouth and the nose.
It's like scuba diving. Have you ever been scuba diving?
No.
You have to like remember. You have to remember to breathe, because if you don't breathe, you could like something about like carbon dioxide poisoning or like.
So it sounds like I probably would not be good at scuba diving.
Maybe not. I don't think so. But
we were gonna go in Key West, but we canceled.
Wow, it's like a stress. It's like if you have problems with like spaces and control and like having to be really thought, it can be a little stressful.
Sounds like I would hate it.
My mom couldn't ever do it. My stepdad is like a scuba master, and so like that's how he and I bonded. He showed me, he like taught me how to scuba dive, and he was trying to teach my mom too. My mom like could not just like go under the water. She like, and she's a swimmer too. She like likes to swim. She just
I
like
swim. Yeah, I know how to. I'm like.
It was like a psychological block. She couldn't do it.
I wonder what it's going to be like in the summer with swimming. Where are we going to swim?
You have to get like a little pool, put in your backyard.
A little kiddie pool?
Mm-hmm. You can just like paddle around. This is going to be... Yeah.
Well, we don't have a bathtub. We just
Mhm.
have like a shower. And I've lived here for like 4 years. So like swimming is otherworldly to me. Being like submerged in water, period. So maybe I will get a kiddie pool.
Yeah, I should.
And then we can Zoom chat in kiddie pools. Summer 2020.
Oh my God.
It's going to be so much fun. Do you have any resources that you would like to share? Websites, places to look for things? I don't know. You work in nonprofit, so I assume you have stuff.
I think a lot of stuff is impacted. So I can't like 100% say what is not like I know that the rental assistance fund from the city ran out already, and like I mentioned before, the Undocu fund, the mutual aid groups, almost every neighborhood. I think JP and Rozzy have one together, right?
I think so. Yeah.
There's
we've been sharing. I think it was JP and Roxbury too.
Yeah, I think Roxbury too.
My job, we've been in Roxbury. We've been sharing that. So
yeah, there's the mutual aid funds. I know that Mass Cultural Council, if you're an artist, is giving out money. And then United Way, Union Capital Boston is giving out money. They have a long wait list though. I think it's hard. Like I can't keep up with like what still has funds, what doesn't have funds.
Yeah. I've just been leaving. I have a resource. I don't have a resource page. We have a resource page for NPDC, and I've just been leaving stuff up until I hear that it's completely done for. Because I feel like it runs out and then it gets, more gets put back in and then it runs out.
Yeah. I would also say, like, I am financially stable right now. So, like, if anyone needs help buying groceries or, like, supplies or I don't know what it is, just you can hit me up and I'll buy them for you.
That's really sweet and awesome. And I'm going to make all my guests do that from... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, whatever it is. You want a bottle of wine, whatever.
That makes me think, too. Same. Like, I'm a little bit of a doomsday prepper. So if you ever need anything, send me a message. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Also, Kelly's we're nearing the end of our hangout today, our lunch date. But I like to give everyone who's on the opportunity to have the final word. So this is your opportunity to tell jokes or vent or be radical and say whatever you want, or say hi to your family, or be inspiring, or whatever you want to do. I'm going to put on a new pair of sunglasses and shut the hell up. The floor is yours.
I told Kelly I was going to put sunglasses on, too.
Oh, the library is open.
So I guess today is one of my really good friends' birthday, Lucy Tin, who's back in LA. Happy birthday, Lucy.
Happy birthday, Lucy.
30. Welcome to the 30s. But mostly, I just want to say, you all, it's a crazy time. We need to be in community, look out for each other, redistribute all of the wealth. Make sure that you don't need to sit on that hoard of money. Just give it out. Give it out to everyone. Yeah. And make sure that, like, I think people avoid eye contact now when they're walking around because, like, they don't want to, I don't know. I'm a hard eye contact maker. So when you're outside, I think it's still fine to, like, smile at people from across the way. Just be as connected as possible in a community and think about all the ways that, we can help other folks, because having a house and having money to be able to, like, redistribute is a great privilege, gift, and I hope we all take advantage of the opportunity to be more engaged in our community.
Yes. Kind of sounds like you want people to keep flirting with one another.
Everyone, just keep in contact,
Making eye contact. If you guys see Sam in public,
please make eye contact with me.
Make eye contact.
I feel so alone.
Oh, baby.
I'm like, no one wants to look at me.
I love you so much, and we'll have to hang out soon. Not for everyone to watch as voyeurs.
Wait, can I ask you a question? That's
yeah.
your hair, not a wig?
This is my hair.
What color is it? Silver?
I have gray hair right now.
Wait, I dyed my hair too, but you can't tell. I was trying to bleach it. Really? Wait, that's the question though. Should I continue to bleach my hair, or will am I not?
No, but yeah.
I'm like trying to be like Maluma, but I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I don't know. Like,
I was a bleach blonde. Well, it wasn't bleach though. Shannon, if you see this or you're watching later, I know that you don't use bleach. It's all organic, beautiful, expensive hair stuff, and I appreciate her. And she told me not to do it. And I was like, you know what? Pandemic Kelly has black hair. Because pre-married Kelly, and a little bit into my marriage, had black hair.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it's my, like, trauma shield. Like, I can, like, deal with stuff when it's black, right? Okay, but my hair used to be brown when I dyed it black.
Yes.
So it was, easy to hide that. Natural. Well, nope. This is 3 weeks, about a month, almost a month.
Yeah.
So black dye on top of blonde hair looks fantastic until you get to week 3, and then you are. That's what that is. Hold on. Let me turn up the light.
You guys, I think we're queer cliches, just so everyone knows. We're like the.
Look at this.
Wait, do you have one of those circle mirrors? What are they called? The ring
Yeah.
lights? You have a ring light?
Come on, girl. Look at this. It's terrible. Shannon's gonna freaking kill me. But I stocked up on dye, so I'm gonna just keep slapping it on until I can see her and she can fix it.
Oh my god.
But yes, keep bleaching your hair. Do it. Who cares?
Yeah.
I showed up for a work Zoom meeting. I didn't like there's lots of people at my work that aren't like on my social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted a picture when I did it, and I just assumed, I don't know, I feel.
Well, that's the end of the Kelly Dye story. Point of the message is be careful when dyeing your hair at home, folks, because if it falls out, I guess no one will know. She's gone. Yeah. When your hair's black, it's really hard to like achieve another color, especially blonde. But or like prevent it from getting brassy because color is warm. The color becomes warm. Kelly left me. I didn't realize that her hair was black and she got down to that gray color. I thought she just did it like gray because she was just like being fashionable. All right, well, she's gone. Oh, she's back.
I have to stop saying negative stuff because every time I'm like. Anyway, well, that was the end, but I wanted to give you a proper farewell. Pickle is going on a running fit right now. I have gray hair. I haven't watched Rupaul's Drag Race. Everything's a mess. All right, just kidding. Sam, I love you so much. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this and be on. And thank you for everyone at home, watching now, watching later, liking, sharing, and commenting. I always feel like such a YouTuber when I say that, but I do really actually appreciate all of the love and the interaction, and I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Tomorrow, I have to ask her what day it is tomorrow, but I believe it is my last show for the week. It's my boss, Leslie Reed's going to be on. We're going to have fun talking about everything except work, but I'm sure some housing things will creep into that conversation. We'll see.
What a combo.
Huh?
I said, woof, what a combo.
We're going to talk about astrology.
Because you're both Libras.
We're both Libras, and birds, and her dog, Charlie, and her kids are seniors in high school, and what it's like, they're supposed to be going to college and that whole thing. We're going to really try to not talk about work. So if you want to watch me and my friend and boss, Leslie Reed, try to pretend to have a non-work conversation tomorrow, tune in at noon. Thank you. I love you so much. Please stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, and you can dye your hair if you want to. Bye.
Bye.